thinking about running for president, and I don't know if I'd be a good candidate or a bad one. I kind of know how a Republican can win, whether it's me or somebody else, and it has to be much more uplifting, much more positive, much more willing to, to be practical now in Washington world, lose the primary to win the general, right, without violating your principles.
All right, I still don't know exactly what that means, because it's impossible to lose the primary to win the general. Kurt Schlichter, trial lawyer, author, and columnist at Breitbart.com and Townhall.com, joins us. Kurt, you don't think much of Mr. Jeb Bush, do you?
No, not particularly. And I've never heard words in English in the order he put them in, because that order doesn't work. It makes no sense. Lose the primary to win the general? I don't know. When I was at the infantry school at Fort Benning, we were taught not to lose things. That's kind of the key to winning. And this is the problem with Jeb Bush. The guy's completely confused.
Well, he's made some remarks that certainly will not endear him to conservatives, especially regarding immigration, the core curriculum, and now this. And I, you know what? And your piece, we should acknowledge, which I do want to acknowledge, that I saw at townhall.com. Will the GOP lose to Hillary in 2016 by nominating a loser like Jeb? I mean, to me, be uplifting, be this. Hey, how about saying our country's going a you-know-what in a handbasket, and if we don't stop this and reverse it and take it back, we're going to lose our country forever. I mean, you don't have to, put on rose-colored glasses and make believe that, we're just striving along here.
Well, if everything's fine, why do we need Jeb? But in fact, of course, everything isn't fine. But for Jeb, it kind of is. He's a certain kind of Republican, a Republican who kind of wants to not really make waves and likes, the attention and the power. And, those conservatives out there, those people with their concerns about, Common Core and immigration, well, they're rednecks, they're hicks, and we really don't need to listen to those people. I mean, I think it's an interesting strategy that you want to win the election by first alienating all the people who might vote for you, and then being the guy who got on stage and gave an award to the person you're likely to run against. It's an innovative strategy. It's just not what I would call a winning.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. And by the way, he's not the only person that I think would be a disaster, and I don't think he could get the nomination either, but a Chris Christie, for instance, I put him in the same category. What about you?
Well, I think Chris Christie and Mitt Romney, who I do not personally support, I think those are the two guys who are most likely to beat Hillary. Now, it doesn't make me happy. I don't like that, but I'm a lawyer and I spend a lot of time in the military and I try to assess things objectively. I think Mitt Romney can go around going, "See, I told you so," and I think Chris Christie's got the guts to stand up to that shrill monster. I'm not sure about the rest of the guys, who I'd probably like better. But, I think Chris Christie can do it. It's just, what do we get if we get Chris Christie in? Jeb Bush, well, I'd like to say Jeb Bush light, but that probably wouldn't really be apt.
Well, he is losing a lot of weight, but I live in his state. Believe me, he's no conservative.
Weight from I don't know, 50 pounds of immigration reform nonsense. I'd like to see that go, and maybe work out a little on Second Amendment rights, build up that respect for our Constitution. There's lots of things I'd like to see Chris Christie work on. And I mean, he's got the personality to win. I'm just not sure I want a guy like Chris Christie as president.
Right. All right, let's move on to the another piece that you wrote, America, You've Been Grubered. Of course, Gruber meeting the House Oversight Committee today, apologizing, denying that he was the architect of Obamacare, not willing to answer the question whether or not he would present all the papers that he gave over to the president or the White House regarding his work on Obamacare. This whole thing is just ridiculous.
Oh, well, look, I'm a trial lawyer. I listen to people lie to me for a living. So, professionally, I respect Gruber. I get where he's coming from. And I was very happy to see the Republicans today actually asking decent questions. That's a nice change. No, Gruber's a little weasel. There's no secret why that the interrogation report came out today. They wanted to have to wipe it off the front page. But from what I heard of Gruber, it was just devastating to the president. This whole Obamacare thing is just built on lies. And, Gruber couldn't deny it. I mean, he's on tape admitting it.
Right. And of course, we know what the president did when he, according to Ann Compton, took a bunch of people off the record, members of the press, and in a profanity-filled tirade, went after them for daring to call any of the scandals. I didn't even know they were doing it, but apparently they did it, and he made them stop.
Well, look, I'm not a journalist. I'm just a simple country lawyer. But, I kind of, yeah. I kind of thought the journalists were supposed to ask tough questions of people in power, not to kind of hold their going down and cry a little if the subject of their interview gets mad at them. What happened?
Well, it's not about his black skin or lack of white skin. It's always been about his thin skin. I don't think there's ever been such a thin-skinned president.
Oh my gosh! Well, look, when you confront a narcissist with the truth, and it goes against his or her chosen agenda. I'm talking to you, Lena Dunham. This is what happens. You get rage. You get rage because you have gone against the very basis of their being, which is what I feel is the most important thing there is. And I think our president's got narcissistic characteristics. I think a lot of people in our society do.
Kurt, I gotta go. I appreciate you coming on. Kurt Schlichter, ladies and gentlemen, we'll speak to you again. We'll be back with Doug Collins, Georgia congressman, right after this. But first, you're looking to get the most out of your food? Well, this next Net Max to Health moment will help you along with that. Don't go away.
Here's some food for thought. Studies show that nutrition affects brain development and function as people age. So what brain-boosting foods should you be adding to your shopping cart?
I think that avocado is a great one to incorporate in because it's high in monounsaturated fats and it can help actually increase blood flow to the brain. I think that blueberries are very helpful as well. There's been lots of studies on blueberries. They have been known to reduce oxidative stress and they can help reduce possibly Alzheimer's disease. And then lastly, I would say omega-3 fats found in fatty fish. Those also have been shown that they can possibly help prevent dementia, memory loss, and Alzheimer's disease.
If you're considering taking a multivitamin and a mineral complex supplement to help make a few of the essentials, talk with a local dietitian to see what works best for you.